Headlines of VTV News. Prime Minister's state visit to further intensify Vietnam-India comprehensive strategic partnership. Vietnam posts strong exports and industrial output. And later on in our world news, Russian Navy set for major drills involving 300 vessels.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this edition of VTV News, broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. On Tuesday morning, while receiving Joseph Borrell, a Vice President of the European Commission and High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, who is on an official visit to Vietnam, State President Tô Lâm thanked the European Union for sending a representative to attend the state funeral of Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. He expressed respect for the General Secretary's significant contributions to promoting Vietnam-EU relations. In the future, State President Tô Lâm suggested promoting delegation exchanges, especially at high levels, to enhance political trust and create momentum for cooperation in all fields, as well as towards upgrading relations. He emphasized the importance of effectively implementing the Vietnam-EU Comprehensive Partnership and Cooperation Agreement and the EVFTA. Additionally, he urged the remaining member countries to ratify the Vietnam-EU Investment Protection Agreement and soon remove the yellow card on Vietnam's seafood exports. On Tuesday morning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended and chaired the conference on the dissemination and implementation of a number of laws and resolutions of the 15th National Assembly organized by the government in coordination with the National Assembly Standing Committee and relevant agencies. According to the government's report, in the first 6 months of the year, a large volume of legislative work, including many draft laws and resolutions with complex and comprehensive policies, was completed and approved by the National Assembly. During this period, the government issued 75 decrees, 131 resolutions, and more than 8,300 related directives and administrative documents. The Prime Minister also requested strict compliance with the law on the promulgation of legal documents. He urged provinces and cities to proactively issue plans to implement laws and resolutions in their localities. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính state visit to India from July the 30th to August the 1st focuses on further intensifying the two countries' comprehensive strategic partnership in multiple spheres. This is in response to current geopolitical and economic changes. This visit is the first by a Vietnamese or an Indian Prime Minister to each other's countries since the two sides established the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership in 2016. More in the following.
Bharat Chamber of Commerce in the West Bengal region of India, a meeting of companies doing business and looking for business opportunities in Vietnam. In India, many businesses have intentions to invest in Vietnam.
I have been living in Vietnam for the past 5 years. We have seen highways come up, the infrastructure has come up. We have seen so many industrial parks, factories being built in front of us. The amount of investment that is going in to infrastructure and attracting more and more foreign investment is very big.
Vietnam economy has grown very fast with aspirational people and aspirational leadership. India is the third largest economy, sometimes grow as an economic force. Certainly it will be wonderful to partner and collaborate with like-minded countries and democracies like Vietnam.
India is currently the world's fastest growing major economy, with a record-shattering 8.2% in the last fiscal year. In addition to trade opportunities, many Indian businesses also see investment opportunities in new areas such as renewable energy and artificial intelligence.
Vietnam is a very stable country. And you know, the energy sector must be our long-term investments. Contracts are at least 15 years long. We need to find partners who have a long-term stable relationship with India. And Vietnam can certainly meet that requirement.
This visit of the Prime Minister is of great significance, with the main focus being to further deepen the Vietnam-India comprehensive strategic partnership in all fields, responding to changes in the current geopolitical and economic situations, as well as expanding the cooperation to areas where both sides have potential and strengths.
Since the establishment of the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership in 2016, trade turnover between Vietnam and India increased 2.5 times. India is among the top 3 markets with the highest growth rate of tourists to Vietnam. The traditional friendship and trust are creating many driving forces to connect people and businesses of the two countries.
The total foreign trade turnover nationwide in the past 7 months is estimated to be nearly $440 billion. It is an increase of over 17% over the same period last year. Processed industrial goods, including textiles, footwear, and wooden furniture, have all grown over the same period and account for 88% of the turnover. It creates a trade balance and earns the country a trade surplus of over $14 billion.
This third quarter of the year is seen as the peak season for textile and garment exports. This company exports 6 to 7 containers to the US, Europe, and Japan markets every day. The company's export turnover in July increased by 8% compared to the same period last year. They expect to increase the number by 10% this third quarter.
In recent years, Vietnam has signed many FTAs with foreign countries. Recently, these agreements and the country's political stability, along with the skills of Vietnamese workers, have attracted many customers and large brands.
Many sectors experience the problem of the overall sector growing while individual companies do not reap the benefits. The seafood sector has met with the same problem. Whilst many businesses have seen their export volume increase in the past 7 months, others have seen no growth or negative growth.
There are also businesses that have not had time to adjust their strategies. For example, frozen catfish fillets are very difficult to export to China. However, if businesses know how to take advantage of byproducts such as catfish bladders, they will have great potential in the Chinese market.
State management agencies have also made efforts to remove difficulties and create more opportunities for businesses to expand their markets, especially in negotiating free trade agreements. In the near future, we will also have 2 more new trade agreements.
Imports as well as export activities in the past 7 months also saw high growth thanks to imported raw materials and machinery for production and business. It accounts for nearly 94% of total import turnover, an increase of 18.5% over the same period last year. This is considered a positive sign for export as well as for maintaining a trade surplus in the coming time.
Over the first 7 months of 2024, Vietnam has seen a significant surge in foreign direct investment, or FDI, drawing over $18 billion, a nearly 11% increase from the same period last year, according to the Ministry of Planning and Investment. The processing and manufacturing sectors have been the biggest contributors, accounting for more than 70% of this increase. Foreign investors continue to view Vietnam as the top investment hub in Southeast Asia, with expectations for increased capital and expanded factory operations in the months ahead.
This is the first factory in Vietnam for Inventec Appliances Company Limited, a company from Taiwan, China. According to company representatives, administrative reforms and a favorable business environment have encouraged them to commit to a long-term presence in Vietnam.
Vietnam offers the best investment environment in Southeast Asia, with strong government support. Next year, we plan to start building 2 factories and expect to hire 5,000 to 10,000 workers.
In addition, an FDI factory construction company reports that the number of projects in the first 6 months of this year has doubled compared to last year.
With a 60% increase in projects, we need to hire 300 more engineers by year-end to oversee factory projects.
Favorable geography, preferential mechanisms, and skilled labor are among the 3 key factors driving foreign investors to commit to sustainable investment in Vietnam.
Businesses are highly interested in 2 key roles: industrial engineers, who optimize and improve production processes, and supplier quality engineers, SQEs, who manage and ensure the quality of suppliers.
As they scale up in investment and production, foreign investors are now prioritizing the construction of green factories and emission-reducing production lines. This shift aims to meet local investment requirements and align with export standards for Europe and America.
Coming up next, Kontum actively responds to earthquakes. And traditional materials applied in modern lifestyle and arts. You're watching VTV News. A serious mining accident at Hòn Gai Coal Company in Quảng Ninh Province on Monday night resulted in the deaths of 5 workers. This is the 8th accident occurring at member units of the Vietnam National Coal and Mineral Industries Group since the beginning of the year, bringing the total number of fatalities in mining accidents to 17.
The accident occurred at the negative 110-meter level of the mining face. This mining face is 48 meters long and supported by 43 hydraulic frames. While a group of 5 workers were working in this area, a coal slide from frame 20 to frame 31 buried the workers. An inspection shows the area consists mainly of fine coal, and at the location of the incident, the coal was found to be wet and waterlogged. The previous work shift had not recorded any signs of wet coal.
The mining phase still meets technical requirements. However, frame 20 to 31 shows signs of wet coal spilling in, causing the accident. All the water sources in the mining area are strictly monitored. Drills were conducted frequently every year to best detect and control the water sources, but it's difficult to monitor and assess wet soil and rocks.
In recent days, Quảng Ninh has experienced prolonged heavy rain, but according to coal mining procedures, unless there are unusual incidents, underground coal mining continues, even during heavy rain. Immediately after the tragic accident, rescue forces worked through the night to recover and return the victims' bodies to their families.
Deputy Prime Minister Chen on Tuesday directly inspected labor safety work at the Hòn Gai Coal Company, where the mine accident recently occurred. He sent his deepest sympathies to the bereaved families. The Deputy Prime Minister ordered the provincial police, the local authorities, and relevant forces to urgently investigate and clarify the cause of the incident, identify the responsibility of related organizations and individuals, and strictly handle any violations of regulations, if any. He also asked for enhanced inspection and supervision to promptly detect and address violations related to labor safety in coal mining activities to prevent similar incidents. Another earthquake occurred in Klong District, Kon Province on Tuesday morning, albeit with minor impacts. At this point, the lives of the residents have returned to normal. The locality is currently in the epicenter area and is proactively responding to earthquakes and helping residents adapt safely.
It has been 2 days since the strongest recorded earthquake and dozens of aftershocks occurred in Klong District. The local authorities are strengthening ground checks, assessing damage, and continuing to disseminate ways to respond to earthquakes. Lives of residents in the epicenter area have basically returned to normal.
Earthquakes frequently occur here. People are naturally scared, but they have been trained by the commune and district authorities to avoid accidents.
An immediate and long-term adaptive measure is equipping locals with knowledge and skills for responding to natural disasters. Proactive prevention has been prioritized since 2021 due to higher frequency of earthquakes. The local motto is proactively prevention and panic reduction when responding to all earthquake situations.
The commune has established a steering committee and teams of experienced members in each village to inform and assist the residents. We check all houses to repair the old and dilapidated ones, preventing their collapse during earthquakes and preventing harm to residents.
According to statistics, there have been more than 700 minor earthquakes in Klong District and neighboring areas since April 2021. Although there have been no casualties and property damage has been minor, the increasing frequency and intensity of these earthquakes further underlines the need for a proactive response.
According to the Vietnam National Authority of Tourism, Asian tourists to Vietnam continue to increase. The majority are from South Korea and China. The number of visitors from these two Asian countries reached nearly 5 million, equivalent to half of the number of international visitors to Vietnam in the first 7 months of the year. Since the beginning of the year, international visitors to Vietnam have reached nearly 10 million. A 51% increase compared to the same period last year, and a 1.9% increase compared to the same period in 2019, the pre-COVID-19 pandemic year. Home to 29 ethnic groups, Tây Ninh, a province in the southeast region, is renowned for its rich cultural heritage. This includes many tangible and intangible cultural assets. The province's folk cultural heritage not only showcases the unique identity of Tây Ninh, but also has significant potential to boost the province's tourism industry, driving both breakthroughs and development.
9 a.m. on the weekend at the top of Baden Mountain, one of the famous tourist destinations in Tây Ninh. The active drum beats, the powerful movements, the synchronized steps to the drum rhythm. This is the traditional cultural beauty and spirit of the Khmer people, showcased through the traditional Chai Dum drum dance, which has been recognized as a national intangible cultural heritage since 2015.
Chai Dum drum can be found in many places, such as An Giang, Kiên Giang, Soc Trang, Tra Vinh, but only in Tây Ninh do the movements resemble martial arts. That is the difference. We are very honored to present the cultural beauty of the Khmer people to everyone.
To meet the demand for enjoying the unique cultural values of the locality, Tây Ninh province has cooperated with businesses to introduce these cultural heritages as a regular tourism product.
By recreating many intangible cultural heritages of the Khmer ethnic people, we hope to contribute a small part in nurturing and promoting the cultural values of the southern region while bringing the heritage closer to the public and tourists from far and wide.
In Tây Ninh province, various sectors and levels create favorable conditions to support the ethnic communities by opening classes to teach Chai Dum drum dance or Ngu music, while also connecting with tourist destinations to promote intangible culture, to introduce and promote to tourists, both domestic and international.
Dun Ka Tai Tu, or Southern folk music, Chai Dum drum dance, or the craft of making dew-soaked rice paper and chili salt. These are the national intangible cultural heritages that Tay Ninh Province has been exploiting and integrating into tourism services. According to the Department of Culture, Sports, and Tourism of the province, in 2023, Tay Ninh tourism has achieved impressive growth with 5.1 million tourist arrivals, generating a revenue of 85 million USD.
Silk, pottery, bamboo, puna papers, and lacquer are traditional materials of Vietnam. These materials can be used in daily life. These are also materials for traditional art creations. More and more artists and young people are using these materials to create new art products. More in the following.
From turning rough tree bark into simple rolls of puna papers by the hands of a girl, the top material has become a work of art.
I started using traditional materials for my creations. The process of learning about materials gave me an opportunity to learn more about the nation's history.
Creativity with puna papers is just an example of the vitality of traditional Vietnamese materials in the contemporary arts. They can be seen through the exhibition of this group of painters, which includes artists who use traditional material in lacquer paintings. Silk painting have also flourished with diverse painting techniques, eye-catching colors, and new content on traditional silk materials.
They use traditional materials. These combine with their creativity, and the combination results in products that meet the market demands. These products can be exported and bring good economic value to them.
These young people use digital technology to stimulate the unique bed weaving technique and deep meaning hidden under each pattern.
Our efforts are being recognized by the community. We use digital technology to connect these heritage artworks with future generations, so that young people can have more ideas and initiatives to apply their heritage in modern life.
With this digital museum, broadcast patterns will be applied to media such as documentaries or music videos, contributing to spreading national culture in modern life.
Coming up next in our world news, Russian Navy set for major drills involving 300 vessels. And 2+2 dialogue enhances ties between U.S. and the Philippines. The Russian Navy began planned exercises involving most of its fleets at the Arctic, Pacific, Baltic, and Caspian Seas. The drills, involving 20,000 servicemen and 300 ships, are designed to test combat readiness and naval capabilities at all levels. The Russian naval forces participating in the drills will conduct more than 300 combat exercises. These include the use of anti-aircraft missiles, anti-submarine weapons, and artillery and passive interference. About 300 ships, boats, submarines, and support vessels, 50 aircrafts, and more than 200 units of military equipment will be used in the drills. The 2+2 dialogue between the U.S. and the Philippine foreign and defense ministers took place in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, on Tuesday. The meeting was held after the previous iteration in April 2023 in Washington and the first dialogue ever in the Philippines. During the meeting, Washington announced a $500 million defense assistance package for the Philippines. Meanwhile, at the April meeting, the two sides agreed to complete a military intelligence sharing agreement known as the Joint Military Information Security Agreement by the end of 2024. In addition, the Mutual Defense Treaty ensures the two countries' support to the other in the event of conflict anywhere in the Pacific. Hydrocarbon spills and polluted waterways in Chile are now being cleaned using discarded hair. The BOOMS device, made out of mesh and filled with hair, leverages this material's natural qualities to clean local waterways of oils, heavy metals, and even bacteria. How does it work? Our following story has more.
The Chilean chapter of the international ecological nonprofit Matter of Trust's MOT project, Petropelo, employs tube-like devices it calls booms, made out mesh and filled with hair, to attract and trap oil in lakes, streams, coasts, and other waterways. MOT members also weave hair into mats that, due to the natural porous qualities of hair, can be used to clean local waterways of oils, heavy metals, and even bacteria.
What we do with the booms is we recover hair from salons, we place it in nets, and those nets stay in water sources for 30, 40, or 50 days. There, they continuously capture hydrocarbons through adhesion.
In the town of Laguna Verde, near Chile's port city Valparaiso, the group placed 4 booms and a hair mat in a stream carrying gray water from a plant to the ocean. After about a month, the devices collected 15 kilograms of contaminants.
In this area, gray water flowed in from a factory. In the end, all water reaches the ocean. What we did a month ago was to install products we called booms from the Petropelo line. It was 4 booms, 2 in front and 2 in the back, along with a hair mat. We hope this can absorb all the fecal coliforms, some oils used at home and factory.
Similar project by the group, Agropelo, uses hair to make woven mats that are used in soil to help retain soil moisture by reducing direct evaporation and saving part of irrigation water, according to the group. Project works with salons across Chile.
In the hairdressing salon, we throw away bins of hair every day. And if we can do something with things that go to the trash, it is impressive how we can help the environment.
If it is used to clean up hydrocarbon, 1 kilogram of hair can clean an average of 5 liters of hydrocarbon. Sometimes it can reach 9 times, and only with that we can clean over 750,000 liters of water.
According to the group, one person's haircut at the salon can clean over 20,000 liters of water. And most importantly, this initiative allows everyone to take part in environmental protection in the simplest way.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. See you again at 3 p.m. local time. Goodbye for now.